From inside Ralph Engelstad Arena, it's time for North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol. Welcome, I'm your host, Dan Hammer. On tonight's show, the coach and I will review North Dakota's split with St. Cloud State this past weekend. We'll also look ahead to North Dakota's next date within the NCHC. It's a home weekend series with Omaha. Coach, good to be back with you again, coming off a split at St. Cloud State, a 3-1 loss on Friday, followed by a 3-2 win on Saturday. Dave, would you say the results of these two games are a true reflection of how your team played on each night?
Well, I think, you know, what it shows is how hard it is to win on back-to-back nights, and we didn't have our best night or play our best game on Friday night. I thought St. Cloud did. You know, the disappointing thing I think for us was we got through two periods. We had an opportunity to go into a third and get some points, and we let those slip away.
One of the emphasis for your hockey team lately has been getting off to good starts to begin the game. That was a common bond in both Friday and Saturday night. That has to be a positive that you carry forward.
Yeah, no question. We felt like we got off to a good start Friday night. We generated a lot in the first 4 or 5 minutes. We had a pretty good first period. But we weren't able to turn that into points on the night, like I said.
On going into Saturday night's game, a bulk of your scoring prior to Saturday recently had come from basically one line. A lot more people involved on Saturday night. How encouraging was that to see?
Well, it's important for our team. That's the way we're going to go out and win games. There's going to be the odd night, such as the night we had against Miami on Saturday night, where one line generates an awful lot for us. But you know what, we got good play out of everybody on Saturday. We had some production, obviously, with Trevor Olson and his unit scoring a couple goals for us. And the other lines all played very well.
Yeah, the freshman line, we'll see more of them on Saturday night's highlights. But coming up next year on the show, we'll take a look at Friday's highlights as North Dakota opened a 2-game road series in St. Cloud.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sioux Shop at Ralph Engelstad Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back. Dave, let's take a look at highlights from Friday night, the opening game of this 2-game series in St. Cloud. And as we talked about, strong starts both nights and a very strong start to the game here on Friday night by your hockey team.
Yeah, we came out, we were on our toes, and you know, we generated a little bit of offense, but most importantly, we just had that good start that, you know, you hope you can build off of through the remainder of the hockey game.
You had a lot of possession time in the opening 7 minutes of the game. I think there was a stretch of about 2 to 2.5 minutes where you possessed the puck in the offensive zone. What about getting pucks to the net during this stretch?
Well, you know, I thought St. Cloud did a good job defending. Obviously, we want to get more pucks there. You know, sometimes you really just have to simplify things. Like right there, you know, you saw 2 opportunities. Both for Drake as well as for Troy to whip pucks. We did get one of them there and you know, generate a little bit of chaos around the net, but we weren't able to get one.
Right.
Good start. What we want to work with, and we just want to build off of that.
Very good start to the game in the first 7 minutes. Then later, Troy Stetcher intercepts a pass, and here's Colton St. Clair in.
Yeah, in all alone, and you know, their player makes a pretty good defensive play. But you know, in reality, it's a clear-cut breakaway where we don't get a scoring opportunity. You know, debatable there whether we could have had a penalty shot.
Well, and there was a penalty called, a hooking penalty. What do you think of the power play here that you went on?
Well, again, you know, it's all about scoring the goal, right? I think we generated a little bit off of it. St. Cloud defended pretty well, but right there, that would be a nice way to cap off a good start and have a power play goal scored.
Well, despite the really good start to the game, you carried a lot of momentum throughout the first. It's scoreless after 1. How about your start here to the second period? I thought it was another strong start by your team.
Yeah, you know, I thought we were moving and going, but I thought one of the things that started to turn the momentum of this hockey game was our lack of success in the face-off dot. And you know, we're seeing some good play once we get going here in the second period. But I thought towards the end of the first period as well as into the second, we lost too many face-offs, and that started to generate momentum swing for St. Cloud State.
4.5 minutes into the second period, St. Cloud State on the power play, and they got a couple bounces going their way on Friday night, and this is one of them here as the puck will deflect off a couple of your players.
Yeah, we did everything that we want to do here. We're in shooting lanes. We're doing the right thing. We've boxed out, actually. this is a puck that Zane sees. It just goes off of our defenseman from the side of the net and into the net. So nothing differently that we can really do there. It's a bounce of the puck that turns things their way.
1-0 St. Cloud State. Your response, though, I think you had to be encouraged with, because, again, you had a lot of sustained zone time here.
Yeah, you know, right away, Bryn Chiswick coming back there with a speed play to the outside and driving that play and taking that puck to the net. It's the right response. It's the response that you want to see. You know, again, just didn't get the overall results out of the long term of this game. 19
shots on goal by St. Cloud State in the second period, Dave. So Zane McIntyre saw a lot of pucks coming his way, and he stopped most of them.
I'll go back to face-offs, and you know what we thought was soft coverage on our part through a lot of the game on Friday night. We were in the right spots defensively. We just weren't engaged and battling on a lot of those plays.
It's still 1-0 here, and then at 13:09 of the second period, you get the equalizer here. You get a couple pucks to the net, and then something good happens here.
Well, and that's what it's all about. You know, again, we talked about generating and getting pucks to the net. You know, we were able to shoot one to the net, find the rebound, good quick stick, quick hands by Drake, and puts it back there and finds a hole.
Great hands to be able to knock it down and then shoot it in immediately for a 1-1 tie at 13:09. Late second period now, still 1-1, and you go on the power play here, and you're going to drive the net, not score, but you're getting some chances here late.
Yeah, right there, you know, we had an opportunity, I think, to either take that puck across the top of the crease or even pass it across the top of the crease. We might have had a little better opportunity, but you know, we're shooting the puck, we're doing the right things. That shot that you saw from Jordan Schmaltz there, a very similar shot to what they scored on. The puck went off a player in front wide instead of off a player in front and going in.
Right on. 1-1 after two. Third period then, shortly after killing off the remaining power play, Johnny Brodzinski, you know, there's another bounce. It bounces off the back of Stefan Patton and in for a 2-1 lead.
Well, we gave them the bounce, though, by giving them short ice transition. We turned the puck over just outside of our blue line, which was too common of a theme on Friday night. These guys are good at getting that and transitioning. They did so, and yes, they got a bounce, but it was off a play that we need to do a better job defending.
You referred to the face-offs. They won 34-56, and they created a lot of offense off one face-offs on this night.
Yeah, you know, the particular area that we tracked Friday night was the face-offs, both offensive zone and defensive zone, and we won only 30% of those face-offs.
That's a big number.
It's a big number. It's a big number.
Joey Bennick then sets up Brodzinski 3-1 at the 9:43 mark. Chances the rest of the way were somewhat limited in this hockey game, weren't they, Coach?
You know, we got put back on our heels. You know, we gave them a power play to make it 3-1 on a play that, you know, we won't make very often, let's put it that way. And they scored on that power play. From there, we generated some opportunities. You know, most of them probably later in the period, but we couldn't make it 3-2.
3-1 is the final. And in visiting with you guys after the game, Coach, they all recognize that this probably wasn't their best defensive game in terms of getting in the way of impeding shots and passing alleys and shooting lanes and so forth.
No, I just think overall, defending without the puck, we weren't tenacious. And I give St. Cloud State a lot of credit. I think we saw one of their best games from top to bottom. They were the better team on this particular night, and we needed to be better coming back Saturday.
Well, you exited Friday night, Coach. Among the things that you were looking at as possible lineup changes, we saw Bryn Chiswick go down on Friday night. Nick Schmaltz was still out. So as you headed to Saturday, you had some lineup changes and some lineup decisions to make, correct?
Yeah, no question. And you know, injuries are a part of the game, and we've got a couple significant players out of the lineup right now. With Bryn going out, Nick Schmaltz already out of the lineup. This is the time of year where you need players to step up and play a role and chip in for the next night.
Well, what did those lineup changes look like for Saturday night? We'll take a look at the Saturday night highlights as North Dakota bounced back to earn a split of the weekend series.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sioux Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back. Dave, let's take a look at Saturday's highlights here, and there were lineup changes, a couple of notable items. Mark McMillan back at center, first time since his wrist injury, and Tucker Poolman moved from the blue line to a wing.
Well, you know, in different circumstances, call for players to do things maybe a little bit out of their comfort zone. And Mark McMillan went in, and I thought he set the tone, not all by himself, but I thought he set the tone for our group of centermen. And we felt like Tucker Poolman went in and did an outstanding job on the right side for short-term notice.
And again, in this night, another strong push to begin the hockey game by your team.
Yeah, we were a hungry team coming out. We were, rightly so. We were not happy with the results from Friday night. And you have to come back with a very determined effort the next night, and we did that.
The all-freshman line coming up with the first goal here. Trevor Wilson's first career goal.
Well, they just did things the right way here. They're, number one, they're on the ice against St. Cloud's top unit and top D pairing. But they went out, they had played with confidence, they did the right things, got a puck to the net, and found the rebound.
Face-offs, big improvement. You won 37 of 69 on this night. Yeah,
we turned it around completely again, especially in the critical zones, from 30% the night before to probably 60-65% in the offensive and defensive zone on Saturday night.
And Mark McMillan really set the pace. He was dominant, especially the first 40 minutes.
Well, you know what? He was dominant in his results, and again, it's that mentality and just setting the tone and setting the example.
Brendan O'Donnell makes it 2-0 here. That play started back at center ice when Colton St. Clair chipped the puck up the wall to O'Donnell.
Well, we defended well on that play. We turned the puck over. We defended that play. We created the turnover and went north quickly. And Brendan O'Donnell, made an outstanding individual play to score the goal.
I'm sorry, Coach. Great start by your team. 2 goals in the first 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And yet St. Cloud State, just less than a minute after you make it 2-0, has an answer here.
Yeah. Well, we're at the end of a shift here. And, Troy Stetcher has 99 out of 100 outstanding plays. This is the play for a team that we have to learn to make sure we survive. We have to be a little more single-minded at the end of a shift. Make sure we take care of that puck, get it deep, get fresh bodies, and go.
Dave, these next couple sequences we're looking at, I think, are examples of what you did contesting the puck on Saturday night.
Well, again, we made a good play defensively, and then Colton St. Clair, makes a good play, driving and shooting, plus getting his own rebound.
Michael Parks, with a good stick there in the defensive end, and you're just much more aggressive defensively in this game.
Yeah, just tenacity makes all the difference in the world. Our structure was good Friday. It was the tenacity of those plays that didn't finish.
A 3-on-0 here at the end of killing off a power play.
Yeah, you don't see too many of those, and it would have been nice to be able to go after killing a good power play. Would have been nice, obviously, to finish and be able to go back into the locker room up 3-1.
But you come right back after that 3-on-0, and again, more sustained pressure, 15 more shots on goal in the second period.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of the theme of the night. No matter what, adversity or positive we ran into the shift before, I felt like we had that next shift mentality, and this is a good example of it.
Yeah, that was a very strong opening 20 minutes for your hockey team, and you continued that pace here in the second period.
Yeah, we get a good bounce of the puck on quick transition there, and Drake just isn't quite able to bury the puck.
Less than 6 minutes then into the period, Troy Stetcher is going to fight for a puck here on the end wall, and he'll free it up, and then Austin Pagansky and Stetcher go to work, and it's Trevor Olson's second.
Well, again, thing to point out, end of a shift, Steph Patton makes just a very simple early chip that allows us to make a line change, get fresh bodies on the ice. Troy Stetcher in this case is a bit of the hero, right? He's up, he creates the loose puck in the cycle, gets the puck to the net, and Trevor Olson finishes his second of the night.
3-1 at that time. You had 23 shots in the opening 23 minutes of this hockey game.
No, it's the way we want to play the game. We had all 4 lines and all 6 defensemen contributing to that.
And again, you're strong on the puck in the D zone throughout this game.
Yeah, it's a good play there by Michael Parks on the wall, single-mindedness. Right play by Gage Osmus on that play just to get it to the net. And again, now we're in the offensive zone, and we have the puck, and we're in attack mode.
31 shots through the opening 40 minutes of this hockey game, playing very well on both ends of the rink. And we go to the third period now, and this game really was won with your defense, wasn't it, Coach?
Well, much like the night before, we got there in a different way, but we're in the third period in a position to win a hockey game. Much different on this particular night, right from the start. We gave up a couple opportunities, but nothing of the critical nature. We did, you know, all of our things consistently throughout the entire 20 minutes, and it was a good way to close out a win.
And you do close it out, St. Cloud State, with the extra attacker here. A lot of traffic in front of McIntyre, but Michael Parks is going to dig the puck out of here and clear it and to preserve the win.
Yeah, we did everything right there. We're not running or chasing. You know, we're staying strong in our spots in a 6-on-5 situation, and because of that, we're able to front pucks and clear pucks.
Yeah. So 3-2 is the final. You earned the split in St. Cloud State. So difficult to win on the road in the NCHC. Johnny Simonson, Austin Pagansky, Trevor Olson, the all-freshman line together for the first time on this night. Olson had his first 2 career goals on his birthday. We chatted with him and Pagansky and others following the game.
Actually, Patton was telling me that he scored his first goal on his 21st. So it was a kind of cool experience, and that first one went in. I was so excited I didn't know what to do, and got back to the bench, and all the guys congratulated me. It was pretty fun.
Well, all 3 of us freshmen, it was a new combination today, so we were really excited, and we just kind of stick to our game plan and got the puck behind the defenseman and just kept going after it, so I think it paid off in the end.
That freshman line went out and did a great job for us tonight. They did exactly what they needed to do. They kept their game simple and got pucks deep, and you know, his scouting report on the goalie was to get pucks into his pads and go there for rebounds. And you know, Olson is you know, sitting right in the right spot on both his goals, so big credit to him and the other 2 guys in his lines for getting the job done tonight.
I think you know, our D-core was our gaps were tighter, our sticks were harder, and we checked better. I think you know, even in front of the net with guys boxing out, there's just that much more effort there tonight, and it was pretty evident. We didn't give up a whole lot, and you know, the guys played well.
As we heard, Trevor Olson finding out that Stefan Patton had also scored his first collegiate goal on his 21st birthday.
It's a nice coincidence.
How about that, huh?
A lot of similarities between those 2 players in terms of their work ethic and their character. And a thing to add to that is Trevor Olson went in and played left wing for us and did an outstanding job of it. That's a nice development for our hockey team.
How about the details of that all-freshman line in terms of their play and what you saw of it on Saturday night, Dave?
Well, we noticed, you know, obviously they scored the goal early off a good, simple play, but we noticed through the first period was great structure and tenacity in the neutral zone and without the puck. So you like to see that type of presence in a group of young guys.
So North Dakota gets the split in St. Cloud. Next up, Omaha. We'll preview that series next here on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sous Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back. Next up for North Dakota, a home series against Omaha this Friday and Saturday inside Ralph Ingolstadt Arena. Dave, what are the points of emphasis for your team getting ready for Omaha, a team that's likely more physical than what St. Cloud State is?
Well, you know, I guess I haven't looked a whole lot at Omaha. We know they'll come in and they'll play well. We're going to worry about ourselves. We'll be ready for this series. This is going to be, you know, a series for us coming home to make sure that we get off to a good start on Friday night, number 1, and carry that through a full 60 or 65 minutes if necessary on Friday night. That's all we'll worry about right now.
Ryan Massa playing pretty well in the nets for Omaha to this point of the season. Any early scouting report on Massa?
No, we got to get pucks to the net. We've got to get bodies to the net, and that's our, you know, that's our formula. So it doesn't matter who we're playing against. You know, I guess there was a bit of notice served from one of the Omaha forwards after their win on Saturday night. So I guess we'll look forward to this one and we'll play the games.
Right. Your team is probably ready to go right now, I would imagine.
Well, we will be ready to go by Friday night.
Yeah. You're a little banged up, so you're going to have some guys step up into situations coming this weekend.
Well, I think that's all part of the game. I think everybody, as you get to especially the end of the first half, we've all been through tough schedules. You know, certainly Omaha is coming through a tough schedule. We're coming through the grind of playing within this league, so that's all part of it. You know, other players step up, go out and play well with the 20 guys that are in the lineup. All
right, Dave, good luck this weekend against Omaha. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and the hockey program, and we'll recap the Omaha series coming up next week here on the show. We're back with some final thoughts next.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sioux Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables too.
A Thanksgiving weekend rumble coming up this weekend here in the Ralph as North Dakota hosts Omaha in a two-game series. A couple of Mavericks to watch this weekend. Goaltender Ryan Massa. Massa enters this weekend among the top 5 in the nation in goals against average, and also number 2 in the nation in save percentage at .95%. He's 6-1-1 on the year, the senior goaltender. The Mavericks' leading scorer is forward Austin Ortega, just a sophomore, but he has 5 goals and 8 assists for 13 points on the season. And of course, Omaha, the fans certainly familiar with Dain Blais in the many years that he spent here at the University of North Dakota. And if you remember last year here inside the Ralph, Dain Blais was ejected from one of the 2 games between the 2 teams played here at the Ralph. We'll have both games for you live on Midco Sports Network, 7:30 on Friday night, 7 o'clock on Saturday night. We hope you can join us. Join me, Scott Kobrinsky, and Katie Hale, North Dakota and Omaha this weekend inside the Ralph and live here on Midco Sports Network. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol.